Hello, everyone. Boy, we've got a collection for you today, a fantastic anthology that's going to pick at all those little scabs over your little horror hearts, and you are going to love it. And we are going to talk about all that, but first I want to remind you that I have books that you can purchase at the link in the description. I have 2 horror anthologies, a standalone short novelette, which is a slasher comedy, and even 2 nonfiction books. So check out that link. And also don't forget to pre-order your copy of Ooze, Little Bursts of Body Horror. It's been getting some fantastic reviews on Goodreads already. Go ahead and check those out, and there is a link down below if you want to pre-order that. You will get 20 stories of ooey gooey body horror by 20 different authors, myself included. And I'm excited for you to read my story, and I hope you consider pre-ordering it. It does come out on March 1st. All right, let's get on with the video. All right. So the book we're going to be talking about today, first of all, it does come out on March 7th. And I will leave a pre-order link in the description. And it's called The Trees Grew Because I Bled There by Larocca. I think many of you, if not most of you, know who Larocca is. Many people that I talked to, myself included, discovered him from his story, Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke. And I did a review of that story last year, and you can find it down in my videos if you want. And that seems to be the one story that everybody agrees. If somebody were to ask me, should I start reading Larocca, what would you recommend? That would be the story I'd go to, because it is simply superb. But I will dare say that this collection of 8 stories, some of them rank right up there with that story, Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke. And that's a big thing to say, because like I said, that's the one everybody knows him for. But the thing that Eric does so well shines through in the stories in this book. And the one thing he does, maybe better than any other horror author, is that he combines literary prose, almost poetic-like sentences and structure to his stories. And yet they're also terrifying, brutal, and bloody. His stories and his books, they have teeth. But you don't see those teeth until you're a little bit too close. You've approached the story, and then at some point it bares its teeth, and boo, it gets you, and you get bit. And some people, when they write horror, they are more literary, and some people are more meat and potatoes, blood and guts. And I like both of those styles. I do. But like I said, I think Eric has perfected that balance, where you're reading beautiful passages, and then all of a sudden something happens that seems to go against what you just read, and all of a sudden, oh man, it's like a punch to the gut, a slap in the head, a bite to the face, and he does that very well. I'm going to give you 3 examples of stories in this book, and they're all 3 kind of different, but this will give you the range of the stories that you can expect when you pick up this copy. This anthology. And the first story itself is just heartbreaking. It's kind of shorter, but it sets the tone perfectly for what's to come. And it's just about a man and his son having a conversation. We know the dad has cancer, but they're having a conversation about something happening outside their house. And as the reader, you're sitting there wondering, well, how is this going to tie into anything? And then the ending comes, and you're just like, oh man. That was very heartbreaking right there. And I absolutely love that, because it set the right emotional tone for the rest of the stories. The titular story, or is it titular story? How do you say that word? Titular. Do you pronounce it with a hard I or the soft I? Let me know in the comments, because no matter how I say it, I always think I'm saying it wrong. It just doesn't sound right coming out of my mouth. But anyway, the story that the title of the book is after, The Trees Grew Because I Bled There. That one is more subtle at first because, again, we just have a conversation and things happening between two people. But it sneaks up on you, and pretty soon you begin to realize that these people are a little bit twisted, a little bit depraved in their relationship. And, in every relationship there's give and take. But this one, he manages to make that give and take relationship very horrific and very brutal. It is a very emotionally charged and very kind of story there. But I absolutely loved it because it sneaks up on you, and you're not sure what's going on. And then, like I said, once you get to the end and you realize it, just, oh man, it blows your mind. It really does. I absolutely love that story. But my favorite in the book, and I'm going to put this one right up there. I'm going to put this story that I'm about to talk about right up there with things have gotten worse since we last spoke. And I know that's high praise for any story by this author. But this one is called You Shouldn't Be Here. And that one is just going to mess with you in ways you don't realize. And I'm not really going to tell you what it's about, but I will say this. If you have children and you read this story, you are going to be hard pressed to take them to a public park, even if it's in the middle of the day with a bunch of other people around you, because not all horrors take place at night when you're alone. Let's put it that way. And I don't have kids of my own. And stories like this are probably part of the reason why I don't, to be honest. But if you do have kids, this story is going to be even more impactful for you, because once you realize what's going on, it is just horrifyingly brutal. And it'll really mess with your mind and mess with your gut. But I absolutely love that story, how it starts out so innocently and then just turns itself into a raging beast of a horror story, And like I said, the other stories in this book, some are more emotional and subtle, like the first one. Some are more suspenseful and build up the tension and then grab you at the end, like the title story. And then some are just straight ahead. Oh my God, you are just in this situation and you don't know how to get out of it. Like You Shouldn't Be Here. And that he shows a great range in all his stories. And like I said, he mixes the literary with the horror. And it's a very beautiful thing. So yeah, be sure to pick up your copy. The Trees Grew Because I Bled There by Eric Larocca. And there is a link down below where you can pre-order that. It's coming out on March 7th, so do it now. And while you're down there, pre-order the book Ooze, Little Bursts of Body Horror. That comes out on March 1st. Read my story in there. And as always, I want to say thank you for taking some of your time, spending it here with me. I really appreciate you guys watching. And until we meet again, keep reading spooky, my friends.